Olga in the meantime.
Hi, thank you for taking my dream again.
Absolutely.
So, so I had a dream that I went back to my old high school, but
Okay.
it's not the high school that I went to in real life. Um, and I was sitting in a classroom with other people at a very long table. And everybody was sitting side by side. And I understood that I was, even though I graduated years ago, I was being kept there.
Hmm.
And like they had no reason to keep me, but they still kept me there in order to graduate again, I guess. And at one point, I was sitting there and I had a notebook from my notes from many, many years ago,
Mhm.
and it was completely filled up with like notes. And they were telling me that I have to complete an assignment, and I went to the teacher and I said, "Well, I can't complete it because there's no blank pieces of paper." And she just persisted to tell me that I need to write somebody in a foreign country, sort of like the kid. You know how kids had programs back in the day when they were like young, where they would write back and forth to people in different
Sure.
countries,
Yeah.
something like that. And then I noticed that a piece of the paper was torn, and there was a date on it, 2015, possibly November 2015, but I'm not 100% sure.
Hmm.
Um,
Timestamp. That's interesting.
And then I walked out of the high school, and then I saw a girl that I used to go to high school with. And I kept telling her that they can't keep me here because I already graduated and I even attended the graduation. And I think I even said they can't legally keep me here, or the word legally was in my mind.
Hmm. Wow. So it sounds like you're being held back,
Hmm.
particularly in a time of training or in a place of that you've literally graduated from. So I feel like it's again, it's the idea of legalism. Um, it can be like a religious spirit. It's the idea that you're supposed to learn something. You've already graduated. You've done the assignments. You've done the work. And there's somebody in a position, apparently in a position of authority, that's trying to hold you in a place of not being able to progress to the next level. Do you have any idea who is keeping you there?
Mm-mm.
Can I just tell you what I hear?
Yeah.
I hear the idea of you're keeping yourself there.
Hmm.
Nobody, I mean, it's the dream is made in such a way that it's disarming. The dream is about you, um, but we don't think, why would I try to keep myself in school? Well, why would anybody try to keep you in school years after you've graduated and try to continue to give you a foreign assignment to somebody that you don't even know that supposedly you're supposed to, do this or do that or whatever. Um, I feel like it's the idea that there's something that you've learned, that you've taken notes on, that you've studied intently, that you've graduated from, that there's still a level of, and I just believe it's a level of confidence that you feel like you're either not qualified or you haven't learned enough. And so you hold yourself in a position of being a student when actually you're a graduate. Does any of this make sense at all?
I mean, it makes sense. But you know, I
It
don't
might be
know.
in just a particular area. It could be something like God is calling you to be a teacher, to
Hmm.
lead a Bible study, teach a group of people, of women, of men, of whatever, to lead in some capacity. And it could be the feeling of like, well, I don't know, and what about this, and what about that. Um, it could also have to do with dreams. It could also have something to do with like the idea of spiritual intelligence or what God is showing you in dreams, particularly because God showed you this in a dream. Like you can't even discount the idea of having the medium in which God chooses to speak to you. Even the fact that you're having it in a dream, I think, is significant. But I feel like what it is God is. wanting you to know that it's a free will choice for you to leave the school.
Mhm.
You know, you think of the idea of literally being trapped in a school. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Like nobody's going to keep you in school. You're an adult now. You can do what you want. You've done this and this and this, and so I think again, the only one that could, what I'm hearing is the only one that could keep you in that place is yourself. It's not a condemnation on you at all, by the way. God is revealing this to you in a dream so you know that you have graduated. Like this is a declaration from God that whatever the area, probably the area that you're thinking about right now, whatever God brings to mind as we're having this discussion, that, and if you've wondered, well, do I qualify? Do I have enough training? Can I do this? Can I do that? God is like saying, you're more than qualified. Your notebooks are full. You've studied, you've done the work. You don't need another assignment. It's time for you to literally go out and to do the thing for which you have been laboring to learn and to do.
Mhm.
So, and I feel like it may have to do with a position of authority in particular. I feel like God is wanting you to step into a position of leading others, and He is saying you're ready. That's the whole
Mhm.
point of the dream. Is He's saying you're ready to go,
Okay.
and perhaps even on an international scale.
Hmm. That's interesting. I'm
There
just
was an
wondering.
assignment to do with corresponding with somebody in another country. It's the idea of I don't know, it may be speaking. It may have something to do with speaking as well. But I feel like God has some great, great, incredible things for you. And He wants you to let yourself out of the school to go out there and do it and know that He's with you and, release your sound, your gift, your being, be fully expressed, release yourself to the world. God created you. You didn't make yourself. You didn't give yourself the abilities. It's just like Moses. Well, who am I to speak? Well, who made the tongue? It's God's response. I did. So God made you. God made me. I can't take any credit for the gift of dream
No.
interpretation or anything else that I can do because I didn't design myself. God just gave it to me. So it's all glory is back to Him, but it's
Yeah.
also we don't do God a service by playing small. So I'm not saying you are, but if there is any area of your life that you're playing small, I feel like, let the horses out of the gate. Like, go for it. Whatever you've desired to do, whatever God has put in your heart to do, whatever you've studied, you've been trained in, like, let it out. Like, go for it and see what God does and how He meets you in that place. I think it'll be really freeing for you.
Yeah. Definitely.
Awesome. Thanks for
Thank
sharing that
you.
with us.
Yeah. Thank you
It's
for
amazing.
interpreting. So
Absolutely.
I
All right.
can't
Take
interpret
care.
my own dreams. So
Well, I love it that you bring them here. So,
all right.
and you
All
can
right.
learn. You can learn if you want to, but you're learning by just being here with us.
All right.
So,
Thanks a lot.
all right. Take care. Bye bye.